So students, this is the help video for part 3 of your team project, which is designing a process control and remuneration system for the sales reps for BGDR. Now, the BGDR, you have a fairly short chain process. Call on a customer, got an order form, they want it, they don't want it. You might try to convince them that they should think twice about something they don't want, but at the end of the day, you sell what you can and you move on. Now, if this was an SAP or a major company, or you have an IT company and your dollar sales are into the million, like you want to sell a computer system that would be used by a whole hospital system, Mountain States or something. There would be a lot of tracking of process, where in the pipeline and how things are moving through the pipeline. Are we getting in and seeing the right people? Are we messing out? But for this, it's a little bit simpler. So some of the stuff that is in the discussions is very good. It doesn't necessarily apply as much to short chain sales as it does long chain sales. Now that discussion assignment 5, I certainly didn't specify that was supposed to be done for BGDR. And actually, I'm really, really happy with the level of discussions that we've had in this course. It's really, really been good. And it's something, obviously, maybe other professors have done it extensively, and it's at least for my course, I feel like it's really worked well. That I've either got really good students or I've done a really great job of teaching. That's a joke. Really good students that are really taking it seriously and actually want to learn. And so I'm very happy with the discussions. In fact, some of the discussions, you've already figured it out. For part 2 and part 3 in particular, several discussions, you look at and read the different discussions, you kind of put it together, and you kind of got the answer to what you need to do. But anyway, to go over and give you this as a help video for your assignment. So you have to build a process control system. And I think y'all were very good in your discussions. You noted that you need to gather data. You need to regularly gather data and make assessments. Now, I didn't mention specifically in here, like say, take something like prospecting, which I said, is a really important part of the training. It's emphasized it, and it's something that as part of the process control should be emphasized. But you will get, so one of the things I want to do is I want you to tell me, like if you're gathering, say, a weekly sales report, or for like pharmaceutical reps, basically they've got a thing that they turn in after every time they see they detail a doctor. They turn this thing in, and it's done kind of, they've got an app on their phone or an app on their iPad, and they just go in and turn that thing in. So what I'm looking for here is, and this is a lot of times done by custom apps, and even a company like BGDR would probably use some sort of computerized intel system for the salespeople to file reports. In this case, I'm going to assume that you get kind of a weekly report, and your assignment is to kind of come up with the fields that are in that form. I mean, what are the questions that you're asking, or what's on that form? And then at the end, y'all should be able to take that form and think, okay, if the salespeople fill this out, we'll know about prospecting, whether they're prospecting actively or they're just calling on existing customers. They're not making any missionary calls. They are making missionary calls. They're following up on missionary calls. Maybe they called, they made a missionary call. They couldn't get to the right people. They went in and looked around at the store, or the way that group of stores or that chain of stores is organized, and looked at where we could get our products in there, and are they following up? Do they they didn't get a sale, or they didn't even get to make a presentation the first time, but they got to follow up on that. So all the information that would be, or the different fields. So I don't want you to design a custom app. I just want to know, if you were telling a company, you were going to pay a company to design a custom app for you, what would be the fields? Kind of a list of the fields, and each kind of, think about, okay, what it is. I would start backwards. I would start, what is it I want to know? And then, okay, I want to know about prospecting. Are they making missionary calls, not, okay, I'm going to make sure I've got a feel for that. Got a feel for that. First call, not first call, existing customer, new customer, something. I want something in there to get that. So the different types of information that you need, I want to have that in the fields for that. Now, the next thing is to look at some of the other variables outside of financial variables, like level of sales or, gross level commissions or something like that. Some of the process control measures. And, one of the things that I said was I really wanted and wasn't expecting y'all to figure this out in the discussion, other measures of relationship quality. So, if a sales manager rides with a salesperson, Joe English rides with a salesperson, spend a lot of time with the new salespeople, going to see, spending time with them, going on ride-alongs with them, measure of relationship quality. If it's okay, do the people like this guy, this girl, this sales rep? They don't like this sales rep. They don't really seem that happy to see them. There's just something a little bit edgy, and maybe this sales rep's got, a little bit of the hustler, the ego, the scam artist in them, and people have figured that out, and they still want to carry Rubbermaid and buy one, a couple other must-have type things, but they're not going to carry the other stuff. They're not, because this guy's not going to be able to sell them other things because they don't really trust them. So some measure of that, and there was really good discussion posts about this, really good discussion posts. So I want to plan to measure some of the non-financial things, some sort of process control measurements that you would take, around customer satisfaction, particularly relationship, and other things that you can think of that would go in there. Now, the sales manager, Joe English, has got a lot of process reinforcements that they have to do. So when you have a new sales rep go out and they make a sale, they call the customer, they make a sale, maybe they get them to carry some new item that's one of our, kind of higher commission items. You get them to carry something like that, that's reinforcement. That's a good reinforcement. But the thing is that it's just like, in like, say, an NFL football team or, UT or a top-level college football team. I guess you can't really say UT right now, but like Alabama, University of Alabama, it's the process. The people that are successful, it's the process, from recruiting, training, teaching, and then the motivating and the playing the game and having the game plan. So it's the good process leads to good outcomes. A salesperson can go in, and because there's the vagaries of the job, they can go in and do everything wrong and get a sale, just because the customer really needed that product, was going to buy it anyway, whatever particular brand of product. They're going to, and they can go in and do everything right, and that buyer has a relationship with, is sleeping with one of the reps from the other company, or his cousin is a rep for another company and it's got competing products, and you're never going to get the sale no matter what you do. You're going to do everything right. But in the long run, it's the good process, good salespersonship. Good salespersonship leads to more sales. Poor salespersonship costs you sales in the long run. It's not going to happen every time. It's not even maybe going to happen the majority of the time. But the better the sales rep is, the better they follow and do the things they're supposed to do that you taught them in the training program. So Joe English needs a system for him to write reports on when he does ride-alongs, he spends time with the sales reps. What I want a kind of list of things that he needs to report on. So like a checklist or a rubric that Joe would use, the sales manager would use for all these newbie salespeople to keep them in, from forgetting. The tendency, I think, for a lot of sales reps is they go through the training program, they learn everything, but then they get out there on the job and they kind of forget everything. And maybe some training programs are so bad that they're maybe better off forgetting. They are run by HR people, not marketing people, not sales people, not the reps or the managers themselves. And they're better off kind of forgetting everything and starting all over again. I've heard a number of people that, you know, you hear that a lot. You go to the national sales conference. Sales managers come in and talk about stuff and forget everything you learned. Tell new sales, forget everything you learned in a trading program. That's all nonsense. Well, hopefully that's not the case, because our team, designed a good sales training program, part 2. So you take some of the things you have in part 2, and then set up a report, a list of fields. And once again, you can think of this as kind of like an app that Joe might fill out, or in his case, maybe just a sheet of paper that he fills out. You know, yes, they did this. No, they didn't do this. They, 1 through 5, whatever. Very good, good, whatever. Excellent, very good, good, average, poor, on the different factors that you need. So that's the next thing I need. And then the final thing that you have to do is remuneration system. And I've set up a table with the commissions that are paid, and so you can't just say, okay, they need X number of dollars in sales. It's got to be a little bit more sophisticated than that. Think about how you want to pay them, how you want to reward them, how you want to incentivize them to to reach the necessary goals, and to maybe go beyond what's necessary and become a heavy hitter or a big hero. So I'm looking for a system that makes sense kind of numerically. You know, I gave you kind of the starting salary is this, but, you know, you put in, say, travel, because the sales, they get reimbursed for their travel, hotel stays, that kind of thing. And they need to generate about double their salary in order to just kind of, in terms of gross commissions coming into the company, they need to double their salary and gross commissions coming into the company in order to really get break even. So I've kind of given you the information you need, and I particularly want you to incentivize. I'm looking for incentives that work, and what you think is the best kind of way to do this. It's very difficult to pay brand new people who have a new job and who need money. You pay them straight commission starting off. Typically, you're going to be not straight commission, but some sort of salary plus commission that you're going to pay them. And I've already told you they make a $60,000 salary, so you have to kind of make that back before you can start thinking about commissions. That's it for the process control part of the group project. Good luck, everybody. I was really impressed so much with what you did in the discussions that I'm really looking forward to your final stuff. If you get your stuff to me early, make sure that I notice it. So if you posted something in the Dropbox, one of the team send me an email, say, okay, we posted this part in the Dropbox, and I'll take a look at it and try to get to it. And I think I threw about July 6th, which is the Wednesday of the last week, and technically the last day of class is Thursday, but I'm giving you I don't actually have to have grades into the following Monday, I don't believe, so I'm giving you kind of like one extra day. July 4th is coming and all of this. I wrote a much simpler case 5 than I intended to, so you won't be swamped necessarily with case 5. It's the best, really, one from the marketing Sherpa. That marketing Sherpa case to me is like the best one that I saw in B2B. And I mean, I read a bunch of them, and it's the best one I saw in B2B. So I kind of want you to read it and go through it. But I don't want to make that case 5 overwhelming or as onerous as I might if we had a 16-week semester. So I've kind of softened up a little bit on case 5, and I'm looking forward to getting these back. So you get it to me by Wednesday the 6th, you get a free turnaround. And and that's assuming that it's pretty good. If it's like really terrible, you only have 2 days to fix it. But I mean, you get it to me by Wednesday, and I'll tell you, that's you need to fix this, you need to fix this, you forgot, left something out. And different professors grade differently. Some professors are kind of holistic graders. And as you already know from like the discussions and the other stuff, I'm kind of a spreadsheet grader. So it's particularly, you know, if something's left out, like you don't make a reply in the discussion. I'm like, I got to take the points off. That's it, you know, nothing else I can do. So I'm thinking the 6th of July for an early turnaround. For many of you, you may not need that. You know, based on what I've seen so far, a lot of y'all's groups won't need an early turnaround. You want me to take a look at something, or you want to talk to me, ask for a time, and I'm going to try to set up, you know, the July 4th comes at kind of inconvenient time for us in this course. I'm going to try to be very liberal and just kind of give over my time that week for y'all to talk to me. I would like to go over the cases 3, 4, and the other discussions the way we did before. It's not necessary. Some of y'all, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. If you would like to get more feedback on your cases and stuff, and you know, I don't know, maybe I'm being prejudiced, but there's some benefit that might help you in your careers and going forward and everything from, you know, spending a few minutes one-on-one with your professor. You haven't had really a lot of other marketing courses. It doesn't sound like there's a couple people that are working in this field, but most of the rest of you don't have a lot of experience, and it might be a good thing for you. So I highly recommend, if you can make the time, to make one of the week 5 one-on-one feedback sessions that you try to do that. So anyway, good luck with you know, everything. Things are going pretty good. A few of you are giving away points by not making replies. If it's Tuesday, there's a reply, or Thursday, there's a reply to the previous one due, and then there's a new one due. Tuesday and Thursday, every time there's like one of each that's kind of due. So if you kind of keep track of that, maybe that could, you know, keep you from forgetting to post that reply and giving away those easy points. Anyway, I'm very happy with the way things are progressing in the semester. It's a lot to ask y'all to do. If I want to have y'all learn as much as you would in a regular class and do it in 5 weeks while working and during the summer when it's daylight till like 9 o'clock and the weather's nice and it's the beach and the lake and all of that are beckoning. So far, I'm very happy with the way the course has gone and how well you students are doing. And, you know, good luck with everything. I also apologize. I've struggled with the dates, really struggled with dates. It's got dates in so many places in D2L. And, but I think I have it all down. So I think everything is up and ready to go for y'all. Have a nice day.